get your ass tearing you in half and eat you up like
yes, sir.
Friday. I roll up to your driveway, rock you in the face, have you looking out as sideways. So step back, cause you ain't wanna whip Mac, the young cat with the rap to leave you flat on your back. And as a matter of fact, I'm like crack on the track with my cap to the back. I'm the cat in the hat. We rhyming like Dr. Seuss, so be careful before you end up on the news every time that we cruise. Like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming in smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew when we cruise. Like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming in smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew. Let's go. And ain't nobody that do it like Pittsburgh. Said ain't nobody that do it like Pittsburgh. I said it twice just in case that you misheard, cause this verse like shipping up also scissors. So quit your back talk, I ain't having it, boy. I'm looking fresh right now, straight dazzling, boy. Light a switch and now I'm gone. Well, my mind's on, vibes on, laced up, headed out the time bomb. Get your life right, sight struck with a white light, triple XT and a fresh pair of white Nikes. I write like nobody you seen, cause my weed is purple and my money is green. See, I'm hungry for cream with my fitted on lane. If you wanna talk shit, I'ma shit on y'all team. Yup, I rock my fitted to the side, roll around the city, blowing piff up in the sky when we cruise. Like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming in smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew when we cruise. Like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming in smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew. The kid raps like lasers, sharp like razors, rolling up my weed in some Garcia Vegas. Yeah, fuck a cop trying to chase me with tasers. I'm running out my crib, then I'm dipping through the neighbor's garden. Hi, homie Marvin the Martian. I wipe my ass with you soft rappers like Sean. You're hungry, I'm starving. You talking shit? Oh, I beg your pardon. Specifics is never gimmicks. I rip it just how I live it. You want it, I'll go and get it. I'm kicking it so exquisite. The wickedest motherfucker on the block I live back. Shit talk on hip hop, I'm peeling your wig back. Yup, so where the crib at? Where the party at? Where them butt naked hoes in the Bacardi at? Cause when I start to rap, it's game over.
Nah, y'all hating crazy.
Cruise, like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers.
Y'all hating crazy.
When we cruise, see, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew. When we cruise, like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming in smooth. When we cruise, see, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew.
What's good, man? What's good? What's good? All right, first of all, W or L, chat, what do you think? I did a full little shave. Nothing crazy. It's already coming back in. I shaved it like 4 days ago. My shit already coming back in. It's already coming in hella clean, hella nice. L, damn, y'all hating, bro. All right, look. We got a lot to talk about today. First and foremost, new look, obviously. I'm sick as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I think I either have the flu or COVID. I don't know. I was thinking it was the flu, but then I went to eat my yogurt this morning, and I couldn't taste anything, bro. I went to eat my yogurt this morning, and I couldn't taste anything, bro. I had berries. I had all types of shit, and I couldn't taste nothing. So I kind of think I have COVID, chat. I'm not gonna lie. However, I'm supposed to leave. I gotta leave in like 2 days to go on a family vacation, and I'm not gonna be able to stream for like, I don't know, 2 weeks. Yeah, vacation. I'm not gonna be able to stream for like 2 weeks, And so I'm like, fuck, I gotta stream before we go. So the plan today is in 5 minutes, David Bailey from Nakamoto is gonna come on. And he's kind of a big deal, I'm not gonna lie. Nah, y'all hating, bro. Y'all are fucking player hating right now, bro. I come on here and tell you I have COVID and you're hating crazy. You guys are hating crazy, bro. Y'all are hating crazy. You're hating crazy, bro. But David Bailey's about to come on, who I told y'all, I'm big on these Bitcoin holding companies. Like, I think this is one of the biggest things in crypto right now that's not being talked about. And so Udi and David Bailey are gonna come on. We're gonna interview him. We're gonna talk about Nakamoto. They're gonna get off. And damn, Malcolm, you're hating too, bro. I haven't had an original thought in 4 days. I've just been laying on that couch. That couch is nasty, bro. I've just been like sweating profusely on that couch watching Naruto. This shit's been gas too. But we're gonna talk to David Bailey. And then at the end, we're gonna have like 15 minutes. I gotta go over some things in the timeline. And then the PRIVY team's gonna come on, who just got bought by Stripe. And chat, Stripe does Stripe does I think it was like $2-3 trillion of volume through the payment processor every year. And they just bought PRIVY, which is insane, bro. Like, genuinely insane. I think that's one of the biggest news to come out of crypto in a while. So outside of that, I feel alright. Thank you all for asking. No, Stripe didn't acquire my beard. I think I'm gonna grow it back, to be honest. Like, I like this look, but I don't love it. I think I'm gonna grow it back. Not even because y'all are hating, but just because, like, I feel like I look like intimidating when I have a beard. I feel like I look mad intimidating when I have a beard. I feel like I look more mateable when I have a beard. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I look like way more like, mateable, I think is the term that I'm going for. You're gonna be at Pudgy wedding this weekend, Napa? No. You look less, man, suck my build is crazy right now too. That's crazy. That's a crazy message. But I'm gonna talk to these guys in 5 minutes. Look, I think it's one of the best topics in crypto right now. I'm being completely honest with y'all. These Bitcoin holding companies are huge. They're gonna be huge. Sailors went on Jordan Peterson. It was a fucking movie. I haven't listened to it yet. I just saw the clips. It was a fucking movie, complete movie. They look like they cloned you. It was nuts. They look like they cloned you. It was hilarious. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm about to go. I'm about to get up. I'm about to piss. I'm about to spit out like a hairball. And then we're going to do this interview chat. I'm struggling right now, I'm not going to lie, but someone's got to do this. Someone's got to interview PRIVY on the day of the Stripe acquisition. Like, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it, chat. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? I'll be right back. Someone's gonna do it.
Smoking blunts with my crew when we cruise. Like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming.
I'm struggling though, chat.
We cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew. The kid raps like lasers, sharp like razors. Rolling up my weed in some Garcia Vegas. Yeah. Fuck a cop trying to chase me with tasers. I'm running out my crib, then I'm dipping through the neighbor's garden. Hi, homie Marvin the Martian. I wipe my ass with you soft rappers like Sean. You're hungry, I'm starving. You talking shit? Oh, I beg your pardon. Specifics is never gimmicks. I rip it just how I live it. You want it? I'll go and get it. I'm kicking it so exquisite. The wickedest motherfucker on the block I live at. Shit talk on hip hop. I'm peeling your wig back. Yup. So where the crib at? Where the party got naked hoes in the Bacardi yet. Cause when I start to rap, it's game over. And I ain't spend a single day sober when I cruise. Like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming in smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city smoking blunts with my crew when we cruise. Like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming in smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll
right, let's
around
get it,
the
man.
city smoking blunts with my crew.
I'm not gonna lie, chat, it's a good day to be a cryptocurrency enjoyer. It's a really good day to be a cryptocurrency enjoyer. Alright, we're gonna move over real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. We're gonna move over real quick, chat. Hold on. No. 1 second. There we go, bank. Alright. We'll have them on in just a second here. It's a good day to be a cryptocurrency enjoyer, chat. The market, I'm not gonna lie. I think if you were ever on the sidelines or waiting for your final step of conviction for if we're really back or not, I think you got your confirmation. I really think you got your confirmation. I really do. Ah.
Yo.
What's up, man?
I hear you for some reason.
Really? What about now?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Bro, nice beard.
Hey, what do you think?
I think it's a good look. I
Yeah?
think it works.
Thanks, man.
The rebrand.
The reband, it's like a short term, like a temporary thing.
All right.
You know, I still came to our interview with the flu. Maybe COVID, unclear. It's nice to see you again, though, dude.
Yeah, you too. We're trying to ping David, but it's like
What do you think?
these fucking boomers, man.
He's a pretty big deal now, huh?
Yeah.
Like, big time.
Yeah.
He specifically got Trump at Bitcoin Nashville, yeah?
I would say he did more than that. He got him into Bitcoin, you know.
That's wild. You think Trump knows what Bitcoin is?
Uh, you know, yes. I mean, what do you define as knowing what Bitcoin is?
Yeah, that's a fair
Like if
take.
you
That's fair.
do you know it's a coin,
Yeah,
that's
fair.
enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first one.
You think he ever mentions Trump coin again?
I guess they ended the rivalry, didn't they? So maybe.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, man. So
Yeah.
dumb. This whole thing.
No. It was entertaining, at least.
Yeah. Are you still holding that?
Trump coin? No. Come on, dude. In 2025? In June of 2025? Come on. I told
Yeah.
you, man, I'm a Bitcoiner now. Heavy.
That's good.
Did you listen to Jordan Peterson and Michael Saylor?
Not yet. I was going to. This is good.
I know, I saw the clips. They said Jordan Peterson's the first person to get Michael Saylor to talk about something other than Bitcoin for 20 minutes.
That's pretty funny.
I know. I'm a fan of his. I've always been a fan of his.
Yeah, you gotta like Jordan Peterson. Look, he made it. I didn't think it was gonna
Ah,
happen.
Mr. David
I thought
Bailey.
I gave it like a
What's up?
20% chance.
20?
Well, I can only join for 30 minutes, and
That's
I'm
perfect.
sorry, I'm 5 minutes late.
Hey, well, you'd better go live, Thread Guy. We're not live yet.
Yeah, we are. We're live on stream.
Are we?
Yeah, we're always live.
Wait, get close.
Welcome, man. How are you, dude?
Fuck.
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm busy. We got a offsite happening right now with the leadership team at Nakamoto where we're plotting world domination. I gotta say, I had the coolest conversation today. Like UTXO, our hedge fund, has just been underwriting like every Bitcoin treasury globally, and so we've got like an update today on like what markets we've entered, what our position sizes are, like how much we're up on each position. And it was straight up like I felt like we were holding like a council of like what was that show called where like they had like the Justice League or whatever, except they had the bad guys who'd get in the helmet like and they'd like sit around a table and like plot like taking over the world. It felt straight out of that. Like it was like, oh, South Korea, Thailand, France, United Kingdom, Canada, Brazil. You know, it's like, oh shit, dude, we're like we're in there. It was cool.
That's fucking sick, dude.
GameStop just announced the convertible bonds plan. Are you in that, David?
I don't know if we're in it. I know we I can't talk about it. We're under NDA, so
Fair enough.
Well,
Look,
dude,
I don't think we need to do some introductions here. I don't
Yeah.
think people know what's what.
I would say we should do that. Udi, I'm pretty new to this whole scene as well. I think over the last like 3 weeks, Udi basically sat me down and he was like, dude, like, you're fucking missing it. All of CT is missing it. Like, it's not just Bitcoin, it's these Bitcoin holding companies. Like, lock the fuck in, figure out what's going on. So could you maybe, give us an intro. Like, who are you? I know who you are. And what is Nakamoto? What are you working on? How does it work? Like, give us the high level.
yeah. So my name is David Bailey. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BTC Inc. We own Bitcoin Magazine. We own the Bitcoin Conference, and we own UTXO Management, which UTXO was the 5th best performing hedge fund in the world last year, and I think we're probably the number 1 best performing hedge fund in the world this year.
Damn.
And we raised about $30 million total for UTXO Management. I don't know how much we've paid out, like a lot, way more than we've raised. And we're sitting on probably about $500 million at AUM right now. It's going up pretty quickly, like we've been doing these Bitcoin treasury plays, and we've done enough of them where we were like, wow, this is the new meta. This is like the ultimate irony here is like tokens were always securities. Just no one wanted to call them that, but they were always securities. Like every token you bought it to make money. And now instead of like buying tokens and pretending they're not securities, we're just like buying securities and pretending they're tokens. And now like the only thing in crypto that ever had product market fit was like 100x gains, and now 100x gains have come to traditional securities. And so now like the game has changed, and it's like, guess what, there's like way more money in like the capital markets than there is in like the crypto markets, like way more money. And so it's like, why do a token that you're going to get rugged on, that is like what token's done well? Like if you take out like Hyperliquid, like what token's done well in the past year? I think they're like all down like if your token's down like 90%.
Bitcoin, Hyperliquid, and Fartcoin are the 3 only coins that are going down.
Like,
Basically. Yeah.
So it's like, like if your token's only down like 90% right now, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. So whereas like the returns on Bitcoin treasury companies, like we invested $1 million in MetaPlanet at a $15 million market cap. MetaPlanet's like a $5 billion market cap right now.
What, a year later? Less?
In 1 year. We bought 1/3 of Smarter Web for $1 million. We closed in December. That listed like a month ago. I think like right now we're like cooking as of today. It was up a lot today. I think we're cooking at like a 300 million pound market cap, which is like $400 million USD market cap. So we've made like 100 million on $1 million.
Whoa.
In like in a month. We're up like our investments range, like our worst investment we've made is up like 3x. Our best investment we've made is up like 200 something x, and then everything else is like somewhere in between, like 20x, 50x, 100x.
Wait, so how did that? First of all, that's like disgusting. That's because it's on size too. It's not like you hit a 10x on 10 Sol. So basically, every company that's like we're gonna become a Bitcoin treasury company, we're gonna raise a bunch of money and buy Bitcoin. You're just investing in.
Yeah, and we're helping structure, and we're bringing in our partners. Like it's kind of like early days ICOs where you have like a posse of people you bring into the token. Like we have a posse of people that we're bringing into the treasury companies, and like we have the best practices like nailed down on how to do it because we've done like 10 of these now. We've done like 12 of these, and like we have I don't remember how many we have in the pipeline. They're like coming to market soon, like 6, 7 more. But our goal is to do one of these in every capital market on the planet. So Saudi Arabia, UAE, Turkey, South Africa, Germany, France, UK, Netherlands, Brazil, Thailand. We'll announce Thailand tomorrow. Taiwan, South Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia.
Jesus, dude.
Bro's just reading out the map.
I know he's got a fucking globe next to him. You're gonna make like $1 billion on this.
Yeah, no, we're gonna make more than that. Yeah, we're gonna make a lot more than that.
Well, what you should be asking, Fred, guys, is how are you gonna make that money too? Because that's the thing. What I've been telling him last time is that like these people are fucking asleep, man. They're buying those stupid meme coins still. They're buying the last meta. This thing is like huge. The amount of like inflows is unprecedented, and you're not gonna capture that with a fucking vibe coding coin.
Yeah,
that's not.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Raising money. So we just raised for Nakamoto, and Nakamoto, like basically, we created Nakamoto to be a vehicle through which we're going to underwrite all of these public companies from off our own balance sheet, and we raised $710 million for Nakamoto, and when we started raising money, dude, raising money from TradFi is so much more legit than raising money from crypto. It's like you get off a 15-minute phone call, they know all the questions to ask, like boom, 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 boom. And then it's just like, okay, we're in 30 mil, done. Send over the paperwork. Just like, yeah.
Why
we changed our minds. 60 mil, send over the paperwork.
Why does it feel like, why is like traditional crypto Twitter that's always on top of the next meta, like feels completely fragmented and separated from like what you were explaining right now?
Because they're scared of securities, and I understand it because I was kind of scared of securities too. Like we almost didn't do MetaPlanet because it's like I've been in the crypto game, the Bitcoin game since I was 22 years old, and I've been in it 13 years, and so it's like all I know. It's the game I know, and so. When you start dealing with like lawyers and auditors and investment bankers, and it's like it's kind of like spooky and scary. And then when I saw MetaPlanet like execute MetaPlanet, I was like, that's actually not that like it's work. It's hard to do. I'm not gonna take anything away from MetaPlanet, but it was like it's not that scary. And so then it was like, okay, well, like we should do another one of these. And then like as you do more of them, it's just kind of like, okay, rinse and repeat. It's the same old. And honestly, as like scary as crypto is to someone from TradFi coming in and like not knowing any of the players or how any of it works or like what are the different things, like it's the same thing from like crypto to TradFi. And like once you learn it, it's like actually super simple. But like there are restrictions, like you can't scam people like you can in crypto. Because like I think half of crypto Twitter is automatically like rolled out. Like there's no rug
automatically disqualified.
Yeah. So like it's like there isn't the same level of scamming that can be done, and so you have to go into this with like a real plan, and like I think that's why you also want to buy Bitcoin, because you want to buy like a real asset that you can actually build a foundation upon. You don't want to just like load up on some degenerate meme coin and then it's like you know, the rug is pulled out from underneath. Like this is something that you're making a long-term bet on.
So you're saying probably no fart coin treasury companies right now?
Yeah, but I actually think, you know, I actually thought that it'd be funny if like someone bought like Waste Management and then like put like fart coin on the balance sheet, and then it's like, okay, well, like that makes sense. Like that's strategic, you know. But
so as you go down the line here and you invest in company after company, like what separates these companies from each other? Like, don't you eventually hit diminishing returns? Like, what separates like Metaplanet from the 5th one, from the 100th one, from the 1,000th one? Like, why are any of them different?
You would think that you'd hit diminishing returns, but like right now the returns are actually amplifying. Like every new deal we do, they're actually getting better. You know, like it took us a year to make 100x on Metaplanet. It's taken us a month and a half, maybe 2 months if I'm going to be conservative, to make 100x on Smarter Web. So, you know, like, and I think, you know, we're about to announce a deal where, like, we haven't even announced it, and like I think we just sent the funding maybe yesterday. We're already up 10x. So it's like now we're like getting to the part of the cycle where we're up before we even.
Dude, what the
deal.
fuck are you saying?
Yeah, no, it's sick. It's sick.
So
we put in $3.5 million and we're up 35 million.
They're thinking you're making this up. They're like, nah.
No, I don't think you're making it up, but I'm like, what the fuck are you saying?
No, not you, but chat.
I mean, this is the thing. These are securities. Go look it up.
So how do you?
It's on chain on Robinhood, man.
How do you play this game? Like, how do I play this game? How does like random 100 in the chat play this game?
You should open an interactive brokerage account, and you should be like on top of like when the new Bitcoin treasury companies drop, just like you'd be like when a new token drops, and then you just get in, and then you just start memeing. You know, like it's like pretty cool to see like each of these communities, like the like we're doing them in all these different markets, and so each market is like the domestic version for that market. So like Japan, like they started making like manga out of like Simon and Dylan, and like, you know, it's like very Japanese, and it's like, okay, like we just did the UK one, and now like you know, they're dropping all these like British memes and stuff. I don't quite understand it, but it's like, you know, so each one is like very, you know, unique to that country. But at the end of the day, it's like you're building this like community around what you're doing, the strategy, and, you know, each of them take on their own flavor. So it's like, okay, find one that you can bring value and add value to, and start building the community out for it.
This is nuts. You know what?
It's
nuts?
really the same. It's
Go
really
ahead.
the same as meme coin trading, but there's some fundamentals there, you know, and there's so much more capital, and like, so it's like, you know, you basically know, if you pay attention to what's going on, you will know before everyone else, because the information is out there, and the boomers are boomers. So like you do have the opportunity. It's just that CT is not paying attention. It's so funny, man. So funny. Chasing after these coins with like $3 million of volume per day or whatever bullshit. Well, this is like absolutely exploding.
And
Like how many people in chat right now own MicroStrategy? Like own a little bit of MicroStrategy.
Where's the chat? Where do you see this?
If you go to Twitch, you can see the chat. If you go twitch.tv/ThreatGuy, you could see it. It'll be a little bit delayed, but I would imagine very low percentage owns MicroStrategy.
Like I would imagine 0.
Yeah, close to 0 probably.
But the thing that is crazy, man, if you're actively trading in crypto, you have to pay attention to what's going on with MicroStrategy, because you can pinpoint whenever Sailor is having a big week where he's buying more. That's when all coins go up. All coins go up, and if you're not. And you can predict that pretty easily, because you know when they're making new offerings of stuff. You can pretty easily know what's going to happen next week, and that influences everything that happens in crypto. And people are not even paying attention to it, which is insane. The amount of capital is absolutely crazy, and people are doing technical analysis on charts with like $1 million volume a day. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
Metaplanet has been the #1 most traded stock, most liquid stock in Japan. It's trading more stock than Nintendo, than Toyota, the biggest brands in the world that you've heard of from Japan, and it's fucking beating them. It's insane. It's insane. And that's not just happening in Japan. We listed Smarter Web on this exchange as like the Aqueous exchange, which is like the like 3rd tier exchange. Like I think it's like 98% of trading volume on that exchange is now this stock. Like this is just exploding everywhere.
So are you basically, you have all this capital to invest, and basically anyone that comes to you and are like, we're a Bitcoin treasury company, you're just like closing your eyes, just like take my money.
No, I mean, we want to see, like, if you gotta like know what you gotta have some experience in the capital market.
Fair.
You gotta like, we're betting on the operator. So like at the end of the day, like we need someone who's gonna like run this legit, that they know what they're doing, that they have relationships, that they pull together a team, like they're gonna bring other capital to the table. But yeah, dude, I mean,
but generally, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we're in, yeah.
So one of the things I was gonna ask is like, last stream where I talked to Udi, I was like, why would you buy strategy when you could just buy Bitcoin? And his answer was something along the lines of like, you're betting on Sailor's ability to like allocate capital and generate Bitcoin like better than you could. And then so I was gonna ask you like, why would I buy treasury company 17 when I could just buy strategy? But it sounds like the valuations that you're getting in are like absurdly low, and so you have much higher upside.
Yeah, the valuations are cheap, but I would say it's a little bit more complex than that. Like, first off, like, okay, how many people in your, a lot of people here haven't bought MicroStrategy. They live in the U.S. They haven't bought like a U.S. stock.
Yeah.
Okay, my dad has a brokerage account. Ask him how many Japanese stocks he's bought. Like 0. Like it's just like, even though he technically could call and like place an order, like, what's he gonna do? Like, call his broker, be like, buy me 3350, on the TSE, the TSX or whatever, TSE. And so, yeah, like each of these markets, there's a massive domestic market that like wants to buy domestic stocks, and so like, which is not that dissimilar from like if you're on Binance, you buy stocks that like list on Binance, like you're on Coinbase, you buy stocks list on Coinbase, like. There is some like it's stickier even than that. And then it's like, okay, well, like lots of people have like retirement accounts, tax deferred accounts where it like they want to invest from this, and there's only certain types of things they can buy, like let's say equities in their domestic market. So they can't buy necessarily a US stock, or they can't buy necessarily an ETF, or they definitely can't buy spot Bitcoin from their tax deferred accounts. And then there's like certain markets have like tax arbitrage opportunities or other like nuances. So like in Japan, if you own digital assets, you're taxed at 55%. If you own stocks, you're taxed at 20%. So if you just take your crypto and you wrap it in an equity wrapper, you've just moved your tax bracket from 55 to 20, but you own the same thing. So yeah, so it's like there's all sorts of reasons why. And then at the end of the day, like, why are these things like outperforming Bitcoin when they're just buying Bitcoin? Because these are operating companies that get operating leverage on Bitcoin. And so like, Metaplanet is up 100x, over 100x, in a period in which Bitcoin's up 2x. And so like, because they're able to get this operating leverage, they're able to outperform Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, their fate is tied to Bitcoin. So like they, in the same way that you can make it on the way up, you can lose it on the way down, to a degree. Like it's their fate's tied to Bitcoin. And so, like if you own ETH, why do you buy another token that listed on ETH? Like it's like at the end of the day, like you're looking for higher beta plays on the underlying asset. And so these are way higher beta. And then the last piece I'd say to it is like something that doesn't exist in crypto is like there's a massive amount of passively invested capital. And so like we don't really have that in crypto, but like in the US markets, like 40 cents of every dollar invested in the stock market is passively invested, which means it's market cap weighted. So when like MicroStrategy got added to the NASDAQ 100, like there's just all these mutual funds and pension funds and like institutional investors that just buy the stock. They don't even know what it does. They don't even care what it does. They just buy the stock on a market cap weighting, and if the underlying assets go up and the stock's market cap goes up, they buy more. So, there's passive capital in each of these domestic markets. They're just buying the stock because, you're 1% of the global stock, market cap of this index. We're just going to buy you.
This might be a retarded question as a crypto person, but is there like a formula that you're using to determine what these companies should be valued at based off like how much capital they've raised, how much Bitcoin they could acquire? Like, is there like a standard way of looking at it, or it's sort of just shoot?
Yeah, so there's definitely like new KPIs and ways that people are trying to value it. How we value our investment is we want to invest at 1 times MNAV. So like we have a Bitcoin on our balance sheet, and like we want to invest it into your balance sheet, and we want to own enough pro rata shares that like the shares that we own immediately are worth 1 Bitcoin's worth. So we've just really like transferred our exposure to you. And then the stock is trading then at a premium to 1 times MNAV, and that's our upside. And so that's how we make our initial investments. And it's like, from that perspective, it's really hard for us to lose, especially because we're buying like in a big enough size that we're getting a board seat, and we're like, you know, we're getting some governance control over what happens to the money. I think in terms of like how to value these that you're buying, it's like the most of these Bitcoin treasury companies, I think, like, you know, if they're trading at like 10 times MNAV, that's very expensive. But what you want to see is like how quickly are they able to raise additional capital so that wherever you bought into the stock, the cash value of the business, like, you know, they're not going to trade below the cash value. So like if this company owns 100 Bitcoins, they're not going to be worth less than 100 Bitcoins. So it maybe right now their market cap is 1,000 Bitcoins that you're buying in at. So then the question is like, how quickly can they raise 900 more Bitcoins so that the cash value of the business is such that even if it traded down to the cash value, you're okay. And so I think Adam Back created this term called like days to cover or something like that, like basically days to get to the cash value. And so people want to have like the fastest running horses in the race, where it's like, okay, I buy this stock, maybe I'm buying at a premium, but in 1 month's time, I'm going to be in the money. And so, you know, like that is I think a pretty smart way to look at it, at least while we're in like a risk on environment. And yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is like, make sure you have like a brokerage account and you can buy stocks and just like start getting into these as soon as they go live.
Okay, so I have to ask.
Did we lose him?
No, you good? Right. Yeah, it's your Wi-Fi thing.
Go ahead. We got you.
Yeah, so I want to ask then.
Yeah.
Also, apologies for my voice. It's like flu, COVID, who knows. The other side of it, like I have to ask, is then what is the scenario in which all of these companies have to start selling their Bitcoin? Do we see like cascade the other direction? Like what would it take to get there? Like what would that look like?
Yeah, so I think in a bear market, it's a very real thing that these things could trade at a discount to their balance sheet. And so like we saw that actually back in the day, there was this trade called the Grayscale Bitcoin Investment Trust, GBTC, and it traded at a huge premium, and people were running this like premium trade, and then it was running at a big discount. But the thing is like the reason why this is different is because GBTC was a closed-end trust, which means that when it was trading at a discount, they couldn't buy their shares back. And so, you know, in the ideal world, when they were trading at a 50% discount, they should have just bought their shares back. And it's like they were buying a Bitcoin for like half a Bitcoin. And so, but with like operating companies, they can just buy their shares back. So ideally, you have a company that generates a profit or has access to like debt instruments. And so if your stock is trading at like less than the value of the balance sheet, then you just buy your shares back and it's like free money. So like I do think that these things can trade at a discount, but I think that that's like a money-making opportunity in and of itself. I think the bigger risk that's happening that I'm seeing in the market is people are like trying to do Bitcoin or like treasury companies for like other shit coins. And the bigger risk is like Bitcoin's liquid. Like Bitcoin's very, very liquid. If you want to dump $100 million of Bitcoin, you can do it instantly. Like it's one of the most liquid markets in the world, to be honest. Whereas like, you know, if you're like like, you know, give me a random shit coin. Like I don't even
Farcoin.
Know, like, yeah, okay. Like let's say you're
Pepe.
Like, well, I guess like the blue chip right now. But
I don't know, Mog.
Like, okay, you're Mog, you're AVAX, I mean whatever, like top 20
AVAX.
crypto. You know, I don't even know what cryptos are right now. So if you're a top 20 crypto and like you're like the only buyer of this thing, or you're like the primary buyer of this thing, well, like in a scenario where your stock is trading at a 30% discount, if you wanted to sell some of your balance sheet to buy back your shares, you could actually cause a death spiral, where by selling some of your tokens, you're causing the price to drop even more, which is making your stock drop even more. And so there's not necessarily a mechanic to actually get the share price to come back to the net asset value of the balance sheet. And so like your balance sheet could just be vaporized, and then your stock price is vaporized, and then you just like vaporize the whole thing.
I think maybe another way to say this is those companies, if you compare them to MicroStrategy, they're small. They're much, much smaller. MicroStrategy is huge, and those companies are way smaller. And what that means, in a sense, and again, like David said before, not to belittle the efforts of the smaller companies, but their job is in a sense easier than Sailor's. Sailor needs to keep pushing this fucking boat, and it needs to keep coming up with billions of capital every week in order to buy more and more Bitcoin. And everyone else can kind of ride the tail. It's almost a free trade. If you want to do this with Solana, then you need to be Sailor. That's a lot harder if you're just a small company, right? So you don't have the benefit of having someone pushing the entire thing through on the other coins. So when people talk about like Ethereum treasury companies, Solana treasury companies, it's like, I don't know. Like, okay, you raised $500 million for this. Okay, nice, but like, I don't know if this enough to create the flywheel that we're talking about. Sailor has been doing this for 5 years with billions upon billions. I mean, I think it's $40 billion by now that he poured into Bitcoin, maybe no, maybe more. So like, that I don't think you're gonna get there that quickly.
Yeah, well
with
said.
Solana.
And wait until we have 50 Sailors. It's like, dude, this thing going supersonic.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So this has been fun. I wish I could stay longer, but the bankers called and they have money for me that I. So let me bow out of here. But it's been fun to be on, and I'll do it again sometime in the future.
Dude, thank you, man.
Ciao.
Peace.
Peace.
Dude, what the fuck, Udi?
I know, right?
What the fuck was that, bro? Well, I mean, what are we talking about? That was insane. Look, you came on here and were like, the numbers are crazy, but he came on here and was like, I woke up and shit $1 billion out this morning. What is he saying?
I mean, yeah, it's true. It's true. The nice thing about it is it's the crypto easy mode that we're all used to from the previous bull markets, where you just buy something, it just doesn't stop going up.
That sounded too easy mode though. You listen to that and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but that's exactly what people thought about fucking Bored Apes last cycle, and everyone who wasn't in it was like, how is it possible? How is it going up? It must be a scam. And look, it's not going to continue forever, just like any other meta. It's not going to continue forever. But now it's easy mode.
Did he say that he has the best performing hedge fund in the world, and all they're doing is raising money and buying Bitcoin treasury companies?
Yeah, I think it probably started with MetaPlanet that they got into a year ago, and that was a really good time. So it was like that, just like he said, just 100x, and then everyone looked at MetaPlanet and like, okay, I'm gonna do the same. Yeah.
100x is nuts.
MetaPlanet is trading ridiculously right now. Man.
Metaplex is the Japanese one.
Yep. It's like it's a hotel chain, and it wasn't even a particularly successful one, I think, if I understand correctly. And then they adopted a Bitcoin strategy, and it was in a relatively good time because the market was kind of slow back then. So they raised some debt, they bought Bitcoin, and now the amount that the Bitcoin is worth compared to the debt is like astronomical. So they're in a pretty good spot. It's gonna be harder for the newer ones long term because they're gonna have to take more leverage, right, and do more risky plays. Like
this is the thing, right?
It's gonna
Yeah.
But I don't think we're at the end of it yet.
I mean, that was one of the most insane.
I think we're not even. Some of the he mentioned that he raised for Nakamoto $700 million. If I understand correctly, not a cent of that was deployed yet. I think I might be wrong, but if I understand correctly, none of that has been deployed. A lot of the money that Jack Mallers has raised has not been deployed yet. I think a lot of what Trump media has been raising has not been deployed yet. There's like so much that's still to come, and whenever that happens, there's gonna be like 20 new companies that pop when these get 10x, right? So I don't think we're at a level yet where this is close to the end. But of course, yeah, people are gonna take riskier and riskier plays, and eventually it'll end. But I don't think we're there yet.
That was one of the most insane 30-minute conversations I feel like I've ever had. Because I'm like, what? It's because the reason it's so insane, Udi, is like, less about literally what he's saying and more about nobody. It's not being talked about anywhere. It's like I almost feel like I'm hearing it I feel like I'm hearing it for the first time. And I'm like, how is that? You know, CT. You talked about this, but if CT likes to feel like we're on top of everything. CT was trading bonds and shit when bond market was going to shit. Like CT feels like it's if you just hang out enough, you're not gonna miss much. And this is like, he's like speaking a different language.
Yeah.
But at this point, how do you play? Like, do I fucking just raise a fund and buy Bitcoin companies? Like, what do you he's like, just make a Robinhood account. But I'm like, fuck, dude. Like,
well, that's one thing you can do. You know, you personally could probably get into a lot of those deals, like personally, early on. So that's something. But bigger picture for I think for everyone listening to this, there's still, you know, literally, so there's a bunch of crazy things that I've heard about people doing. One is there's people who are looking for, man, I probably shouldn't say this on a stream. This is
say
ridiculous alpha, but like there's people looking for companies. So, you know, in order to do this, you don't take your own company public, right? You do some reverse merger into an existing tiny microcap company. So there are people who are looking for companies that are candidates that are small enough and they're in the right markets and might turn into Bitcoin, and they're just buying those up, like just buying the stock outright, hoping that, you know, someone picks them up and it 100x's overnight. So I've heard that as a crazy play, and you know, maybe that works. I don't know. I mean, if you think that there's going to be 100 more, then they're going to start. Eventually, they're going to start running out of microcaps to reverse merge into. But the other thing is you can literally just, you know, if you're in tune with what's going on and you hear of a new stock, so far people who just buy it on the open market and wait like 2 days seem to be doing pretty well, you know. This is where we're at right now. It's literally easy mode for these companies right now, and I can't tell you how long it's going to stay easy mode, but right now literally these guys just go, they hear the news on Twitter, they buy the stock after everyone knows, like it's no longer like, it's not like a private, you know, it's not like an insider thing. Everyone knows, they go buy the stock and it just goes up quickly. Now, is that going to continue forever? I don't know, but I would say really, I think anyone who's in CT needs to start getting into those circles and see like what's going on. At least like, you know, deposit a little bit of money into Robinhood and play around a little bit.
I know I keep asking this, but this shit has to blow up in our face, right? At some point.
Sure, man. Yeah. I think it will, but just because maybe not this current crop of companies, but I think eventually it's inevitable that they're just going to take more and more and more leverage until you know, any 10% dip is going to kill some treasury company.
Yeah.
That we'll get to that stage for sure. But I've seen people like saying, "Oh, this is going to be the downfall of Bitcoin and stuff." I don't think so. I think there's going to be some of these companies that take like way too much risk and fuck up. But then people with a healthy balance sheet like MicroStrategy can come and buy them for a penny on the dollars, increase the Bitcoin that they have. Like they're not going to end up in a situation where they're like just completely going bankrupt. There's just going to be a bigger fish that eats them up in a cheaper price.
Damn. That was nuts, Udi. And he isn't even the biggest fish doing this, right? Like,
no. But they've been very early on this. They've been very early on this trend, and I don't know another fund that's literally launching in so many countries. So I think that's like their specialty.
Damn.
But the thing is, MicroStrategy is so much bigger than all of these. It's like, I don't know, 100 times bigger than all of these. So like the amounts of capital that Saylor is raising, that is the thing that I think people don't internalize, right? Like people see those tweets that he posts every week, and on some weeks he will say, "Yeah, we bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin," and people are like, "Oh, he's so crazy. He's buying 1.5 billion." No one thinks like, where is this coming from? How is it possible that every fucking week he has so much money to deploy into Bitcoin? Like they're not thinking it through. The man found a way to raise insane amounts of capital. It's not, it's not in his closet. It's not the company making this money, but he came up with a pitch that the capital markets absolutely love, and they keep begging him for more. And what this means is, one, it means that Bitcoin is going up. I mean, that's one thing it means. And the other thing it means is, I think we're still early for this trend, for the treasury trend.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. You might see Thread Guy Fund soon. I don't fucking know.
I mean, why not?
I'm a Bitcoin maxi. This is fun. These are fun. These little chats make me want to stream, Udi. I'm not gonna lie. They're fun.
It is fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Bitcoin.
I mean, yeah, we should bring a few of the CEOs of these companies on to. It will be funny because I think some of them are also, CT is very foreign to this, and I think they're also very unfamiliar. Some of them are very unfamiliar with what's going on in CT. So
it's like a fun little mix.
Crossover.
I like him a lot. That was sick. Thanks for bringing him on. He's
Yeah.
You know, I fuck with how he's so like confident and just like I'm the shit. Like I liked it.
Yeah. Look, he's been in this game for a little while. This isn't his first rodeo. He recognizes when something is big, and he has a smell for it.
I like him.
He knows for it.
13 years of Bitcoin is wild. I fuck with him. I'm a fan.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Sick, dude. I'm about to talk to the PRIVY team. You see they got acquired by Stripe?
Yeah.
That's pretty big news.
PRIVY is such a goated company.
That's big, isn't that? Like
anyone who's building in crypto knows that PRIVY is like legit, like genuinely legit, like an actual company solving problems.
Dude,
which is rare.
It feels like I'll let you go after this, but it feels like right now in this moment, a lot of stars are aligning for crypto. It's like, damn, maybe the whole thing isn't a scam, and there's like some positive things happening.
But the right things.
The right things. Yeah.
I think a lot of the kind of I think the scams are not going to have a very good time, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you just have an advantage if you're not like a complete scam. You have an advantage because now you can access so much more capital.
Facts.
And so if you're just like some bullshit meme coin, and I'm sorry, I love meme coins, it's fun, but if you're just a meme coin, you just cannot access that.
Oh,
how do you compete?
The question I was gonna ask him before he left, the last question was which we've talked about, is like, it really feels like the whole bid for Bitcoin is like institutional, and none of it is on chain. Zero.
Well, I mean, Bitcoin is not on chain, right? Like you cannot trade Bitcoin on chain easily.
Fair.
But it's not retail.
How would you articulate that then? Then retail? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not it's not people going to Coinbase and buying Bitcoin. Like, it's not people going. It used to be, previous cycle, it probably was people going leverage long on Binance and FTX. And that's no longer the driving factor. It exists, but it hasn't grown as much. Meanwhile, the institutional bid is meteoric.
Yeah. My first Bitcoin was on chain, wrapped on Solana.
Nice.
That's what.
CBBTC. It's actually really easy to buy Bitcoin on Solana.
Yeah, it is.
And CBBTC is, relatively trustworthy, probably.
I hope, right?
It is Coinbase.
Yeah, it's Coinbase after all.
It wouldn't be bad for you to have BTC in cold storage, right? Instead of like, you can just do that. If you're gonna hold it for a long time, like you can deposit the CBBTC to Coinbase, I think, and withdraw like fucking real Bitcoin, put it in your Ledger wallet or something, and just don't touch it. That it's real.
Yeah. I'm a Bitcoin
Did you ever hold real Bitcoin?
Yeah, I do now. But I just said about the first time I purchased was CBBTC.
Okay. All right.
It's the easiest way for the first time. Udi, you're the best, man. I'm gonna go to the doctor now, and I'll be back in 10 days.
Yeah, good luck.
And our treasury tour resumes.
I hope you maintain the new look. I love the
look.
Think about it. Consider it.
Look. The classic, man.
All right, man.
All right, Papa.
See ya.
Here you go, bro. Peace.
Bye.
Hold on, let me end this chat. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I've heard some crazy conversations. That was one of the more nuts things I feel like I've ever heard in my life. Like, what? He came on here and was basically like, yeah, I'm just like printing like 9 figures. That was insane. Am I missing something? Yeah, of course the VOD's going up. Hold on, let me get a cough drop. Chat, that was nuts. Completely nuts. It's just crazy because, like, it's not up now. It'll go up after. It's crazy because we don't hear about any of this shit. We never talk about this. These treasury companies, we never talk about this, ever. And he made it sound like, I don't even know what Twitter account to follow for that. He made it sound like it was the freest thing ever, and like we're retarded for not, like... I mean, the summary of what he said is basically he runs the best performing hedge fund in the world right now. He runs the best performing hedge fund in the world right now, and the only thing they're doing is investing in these upcoming Bitcoin treasury companies that are going public and just like getting rich, like free rich. Here, let's see. Do you want to see? This is him. He said best performing hedge fund in the world. I think it's this. I think it's this. I'm pretty sure it's this. We're thesis-driven, high-conviction investors leveraging our decades of expertise in Bitcoin. Is this like a category on like... Where's the report? What report? Read what report? This? Am I stupid? My bad. What? Yeah, they're all doing what MicroStrategy is doing. They're all doing what MicroStrategy is doing. But basically what he's saying is like, Saylor's the best capital allocator, and he's buying so much Bitcoin that like everybody else can just do it, can just like ride his coattails for free. Is basically the take. I know I'm nuts. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. He's just like a Chad. Wow. Shout out MF for TV show. Yeah, I'm like shook because this is like a whole. This is nuts. Yeah, the smaller ones probably blow up. The ones that have to buy a ton of leverage really late. I think I look good without the beard. Y'all are hating. But I'm not gonna lie, chat, that was one of the crazier conversations I feel like I've ever had, because it's like it feels, one of the reasons crypto Twitter is so cool, I think, is because you have this feeling, you get this like elitist feeling in crypto when you're in crypto Twitter, where you feel like you are on top of everything, and there's enough smart people around that even if you aren't on top of it, somebody else is. Like, the best part about crypto Twitter is like Base16Z is also on crypto Twitter, and like Andrew Kang is also on crypto Twitter, and like all these guys are like also on CT. And so usually if there's a finance thing that's hot, that's worthy to pay attention to, you like know about it. Mika gifted a sub I didn't even see. Shout out to Mika. But it feels like with these treasury companies, it's just like not being discussed. But then I talked to like Udi or someone, and they're like, yo, you're retarded. It's like the biggest thing in crypto. Normal effort with the 5 gifted. Thank you, bro. But the thing that's tough about it is like, if this really is going to be how this plays out, where the whole Bitcoin bid is like institutional, or it means like retail isn't buying a lot of these. It means like none of the bid is from retail, which is like a little bit scary, because it's like, is that money gonna flow back to on-chain? I don't know. I really don't know. But so if I'm correct, from what I heard you say to him, you asked if you should create a fund. No, I'm not really interested in making a fund, but he basically has a fund and they invest in every Bitcoin treasury company, and they're just printing, is what it sounds like. Printing a number is not liquid. Hey, what's good, Banky? Third guy sounds different. No, I'm sick, dude. I'm sick. I'm gonna do this interview in 10 minutes and I'm going to the hospital, bro. I think I have COVID. I can't taste my food or nothing. I'm trenching all day. Although the last 4 days I've been just like, I'm telling you, I'm sick. I think I have COVID or the flu or something, so it's hard to do much. But I basically, I think I pretty much think we're out of the water on macro. And Sol ETF is coming. Bitcoin looks insane. Solana's back. ETH even is going crazy. Like, I think the the special alt season is about to come. I really do. I really do. It's about to get crazy on chain. And so it really wasn't worth paying attention to before, but now it is. What's good, stream guy? Yeah, ETF and everything, probably. We probably get Farcoin ETF file this cycle, probably, right? Top plays for you. Honestly, I miss Hyperliquid, which is nuts. I can't believe it. I miss Hyperliquid. We have 5 minutes for the interview, by the way. I miss Hyperliquid, which is just insane. So I bought a fuck ton of Bitcoin, like a ridiculous amount of Bitcoin, at like 90K. And so I'm pretty overweight in Bitcoin. And then I'm basically just waiting for new coins, I think. I'm basically all in Bitcoin and then sold a trench. Is where I'm at right now. I have such a sad launch coin story. I can't even tell you much. I fumbled launch coin so bad 3 times now. I just have like no words. I sold 1% of launch coin. I sold 1% of launch coin at 10 mil. The first time. No, like 7 mil for a loss. Round 1. And then I went really heavy after the interview because I was like, bet he's locked in. And I sold it all at like 115 at the bottom. It's brutal. Brutal. No, I'm paying no attention to AVAX. I think it's a complete waste of time. Why? Why pay attention to AVAX? Complete waste of time, in my opinion. Are you actually gonna buy the treasury fund companies? Maybe. Like maybe. I don't know. I don't disagree that AVAX like looks fine. But it's like why pay attention to AVAX when like Solana exists? It's just like you're not. I bridged to Hyperliquid. And I bought all the fucking hype coins, and I'm like, this is such a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. It's like, just stick to the fucking winner, I think. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pee real quick, and then we're gonna interview the PRIVY team that just got acquired by Stripe today. Be back in like 30 seconds.
I'm looking fresh right now, straight dazzling boy. Later switching now, I'm gone. Well, my mind's on, 5's on, laced up, headed out the time bomb. Get your life right, sight struck with a white light, triple XT, and a fresh pair of white Nikes. I write like nobody you seen, cause my weed is purple and my money is green. See, I'm hungry for cream with my fitted on lane. If you wanna talk shit, I'ma shit on y'all team. Yup, I rock my fitted to the side, roll around the city, blowing piff up in the sky when we cruise, like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming and smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city, smoking blunts with my crew when we cruise, like we got nothing to lose. Hear the speech through the speakers, hope it's coming and smooth when we cruise. See, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'ma roll around the city, smoking blunts with my crew. The kid raps like lasers, sharp like razors, rolling up my weed in some Garcia Vegas. Yeah, fuck a cop trying to chase me with tasers. I'm running out my crib, then I'm dipping through the neighbor's garden. Hi, homie Marvin the Martian. I wipe my ass with you soft rappers like Sean. You're hungry, I'm starving.
Chat, I'm not gonna lie, I'm so out of it, dude. I'm like so fucking out of it. Wait, give me. I'm gonna turn the camera off. I'm gonna jump into the interview. Give me a second. Hold up, chat. I'm gonna jump in here in a second. Hold up, chat. Yo, yo. Yo. All right, chat. Just give us like 2 minutes here. Oh, it's muted. I see.
Now I hear you.
Ah, what's up, man? I thought I was waiting on you. That's my bad.
No, I was seeing you. It was a sight to behold, but I was not getting any audio.
How are you, man?
I'm doing very well. Lots to do, lots to build. So very excited.
Yeah, what a fucking day. I preemptively apologize. I'm going to the doctor after this. I think I have like a flu or a COVID or something. My voice is completely cooked. But yeah, so bear with me on the voice thing. But dude, thanks for joining. Congratulations. First and foremost. The Stripe news, I mean, how long was that in the works for? It's a fucking insane announcement.
I am happy to say that I am basically not able to speak about any of it. Yeah. So frankly, it's going to be a lot of info talk between us, but we're in the closing period. So for the most part right now, we're still two separate companies until we close. So to that end, I'm going to be the most boring guest you've ever had. What I can say is that we've, been very long admirers of this company. It's very exciting for us that we get to ship a lot more for our customers working together.
That's awesome. Also, I won't press you about anything, but if we like hit a thing, you're like, I can't, just be like, yeah, I can't talk about that. But it feels like, I don't know, it felt like, I was excited to get you on and just even to chat for a couple minutes, because it feels like it's some of the biggest news to come out of crypto in a while. And to every person that has a take about Privy, even Udi was just on, and the take is basically like, oh yeah, that's like a serious company. Like they're like one of the serious people in the room that are building serious stuff. Like, how long have you been working on it for? Like, how'd you get to this point?
I mean, this is it's a great question. One, love Udi, love his work. I've been following him for a long time, so it means a lot to hear him say that. I think, I joined this space out of academia. So I was an applied cryptographer by trade. I went to a company called Protocol Labs that was started by a good friend of mine, where I worked on IPFS and Filecoin. So I've been working on decentralized systems for a long time, and basically came out of that thinking this is an incredible rails for moving value on the web. It's also unfortunately completely unusable. I've not worked with a product that I've really enjoyed in the space, and in part that's because wallets are entirely unapproachable. So we started the company in very late 2021 with my co-founder Asta, really to try and make it easier for developers to build products their users could love in crypto. But yeah, so it's been 3.5 years. I think in crypto they count triple, so maybe call it 10.5.
I'm actually shocked that not everybody knows, but a couple people are asking, like, what does Privy do? Like, how do you explain what Privy is?
Well, I mean, frankly, I would argue that's the point. Maybe crypto's big flaw has been that infrastructure is the main show when it shouldn't be. It should be an enabler of the people who are building products their users love. So it's probably a good sign that people don't know Privy. Hopefully they've used Privy and they don't know Privy. But at a high level, we basically build user onboarding and wallet infrastructure for applications. So we let developers take very low-level key management that we develop so they can help users secure assets, hold funds, transfer, and earn funds as digital assets in-app. So we work with the likes of Farcaster. I watched your episode with Dan that I loved. We work with folks like Pump. We work with Hyperliquid. We work with Jupiter. But basically, whether you're building a trading app, a neobank, or a social product, we help you basically embed crypto rails into your product in a way that doesn't get in the way of your customer's experience.
And why did you like decide that we needed Privy? Because it feels like it's such an obvious product. Like it makes sense. Like every time I use it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's all. Like yes, great, cool, Privy, done. But yeah, I don't know. How'd you get there?
So the honest take is I love how obvious it is because of how not obvious it was when we started. I remember having a number of conversations with Asta and folks that we were talking to in the space, for whom the idea that they would have users be anything other than just a wallet address, what was insane. And I think like maybe the early tweet that got me onto this. Do you know who RuneKek is?
No, I don't think I do. Is that crazy?
RuneKek's an early MakerDAO, I think, the developer participant, and he had a tweet that went something along the lines of, "Does anybody know who OX123 is? If they don't top up their vault relatively soon, they are going to get $700 million liquidated." And I was like, how insane is it that we've built these extraordinarily efficient rails for moving value around, and yet we have no way to connect them to people, to businesses, in a way that enables them to actually really sort of wholesale own these assets that they're building with. And so I think our take was the best crypto products will be hybrid to some extent. They will have some on-chain components, some off-chain components. And in order for that to happen, you need to be able to work with wallets in a way that allows you to serve your users without having to keep pushing them off app all the time. So that was the original take. And I think the company's evolved a lot, but it was very, I think, counterintuitive to folks at the beginning because all you had was a connect wallet button and you had no database. You had nothing but a dApp and a front end.
First of all, that's awesome. It feels like this is the type of product that needs to go mainstream for crypto to really go mainstream at the same time. Like it feels like the Web 2 world like needs Privy to exist in order for crypto to go as big as we think it can go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super biased. I think for us, a lot of what is exciting is that we feel like we are, maybe midway through the first inning, but we've got everything to build. I think the impact that these rails can have on how we move value around the web is yet to be felt. But in order to do it, you need to be able to talk to users who don't care about the underlying infrastructure, who just care about safely holding assets. And so I think a lot of what's exciting to me about our work is that these wallets have to be super flexible. They have to be very modular. Obviously, a platform like Hyperliquid or Pump have very different requirements, hold very different types of balances than customer like Pirate Nation, which is a game where you're earning loot in the wallets. And I think we've felt like being able to build basically across verticals, across fintech, across DeFi, across social and gaming makes our product quite a bit stronger. But building wallets that are flexible enough to be super high performance for trading apps and super secure for investment products means having a very flexible sort of underpinning. And I think that's what it will take for us to be able to build really mass scale products on crypto rails.
How do you like internally measure how big Privy is, and like how big did it get up until this point? Like, is it users, TVL,
Yeah, it's a perfect question. Honestly, I think you are what you measure. So we talk about what are the KPIs that matter to us, the key performance indicators that matter to us quite a bit. We focus a lot on number of individual accounts that we serve, as well as number of developer teams that we serve. And then we look a lot at things like how many MAUs, monthly active users, do these teams have? How many MTUs, monthly transacting users, do these teams have? How much sort of volume is being driven by these wallets? Like, how much economic activity to some extent. And I think there's a really wide spectrum of crypto from very, very financial and sort of economically motivated to actually much more about ownership and identity. And what's exciting to me about the stack is we really can't guess where success will come from the teams. All we can do is work with developers who we think are just very inspiring and know a lot more about the world than we do. And then we really try to stick as close to them as we can. So these are like kind of the scale metrics, but I think the things I go to bed, kind of thinking about, or at least that the team thinks a lot about, is really about the type of feedback that we get on the product itself and whether people like building with it or not. And so there's a lot of like call it NPS scoring that we do under the hood to understand whether we're doing a good job.
I obviously don't know the details of the Stripe acquisition, but I imagine you guys could have made an absurd amount of money launching a token at any point up until now. Like, why did you never launch a token? I mean, I don't know what Privy Coin is worth, but it's fucking worth a lot.
It's a great question. I know too much. Maybe is the Privy Coin is a very good idea. I know too much. I worked on Filecoin for a long time. I think Filecoin is an extraordinarily exciting system related to basically long tail storage of assets. So we're using blockchains in that project to enable people to put up spare capacity that they have on their hard drives. For rent, and we're using these distributed networks to basically create a marketplace where people can rent space and people can give space to be rented. And basically, I just saw how intensive building a token is to power a decentralized network. And the reality is, I think you end up spending a lot of time on tokenomics, and the economic network itself becomes the product in a way where for us, and I mean, I think there are teams that defy these odds. Again, I'm in awe of the folks that we work with at Hyperliquid, for example. I know Pump has been talking about some things. Like, these are teams that have been able to craft a product and a token side by side. I think for ourselves, kind of focus has always been the MO, and our thought was we need to build infrastructure that's highly performant, that's highly scalable globally, and that enables developers to build sort of programmable wallets that secure user assets. The token, whilst I can imagine how it would work, gets in the way of our focus on that pure mission. So it was a question of, you only get to do a few things. We should pick the ones we do well, and we should focus on those.
I mean, I know too much is pretty based. I like the answer. I can imagine at times it was probably difficult to not launch.
We have an old paper I should publish at some point around basically identity networks and sort of tokenized identity pods. This looks, Tim Berners-Lee has the guy who invented the hyperlink, I believe. Maybe I'm butchering this. I'm running on relatively little sleep. But he built a company around pods, which are basically like personal data pods that you can sort of curate for yourself. And I think there's actually, tokens are useful for decentralization, basically. And there's a lot to be built, I think, in a tokenized way around decentralized identity. But again, I think we saw ourselves as serving developers, and I think being able to give them, scale performance and programmability. The token didn't help with any of that, and so that's, we made our bet early on. We're going to be a SaaS provider, and we are happily lying in that bed.
What do you specifically do day to day at Privy? I'm into your whole deal.
What do I do? Honestly, I it's a great question. I'm like a very disorganized person, so I do all sorts of things.
Are you coding? Are you coding the product or no?
No, thank the Lord. Okay. I'm no longer coding the product. Early on, I was. My much more talented co-founder, Asta, runs all of our engineering, and she's been pushing basically a lot on product execution. I spend most of my time basically on three fronts. I talk to a lot of customers, and I spend a lot of time basically trying to do this. One of our core sort of MOs has been every product build needs a champion. Any feature that we build has to be built for someone specific, not the idea of someone. We were building for Thread Guy, not somebody with an orange couch in their room. And we want to know exactly who it is, so we can ask you questions. We can say, okay, you're telling us that you need signatures to happen in sub 100 milliseconds. Why is that? And you're saying that your users are in this country. And we can start basically really fitting the infrastructure around those needs. And that's a lot of my time, frankly, is talking to those customers to kind of understand the end-to-end stories of what they're building. And then the other half is basically working with the team and with our investors to make sure that we have what we need and the resources we need to move forward.
That was based. I like that. I think you can answer this. Maybe it's obvious, but why Stripe? I think it's about as big as you can go.
Yeah, I can talk about it. I mean, I have an old write-up that I did when we first started the company, sort of talking about what Stripe's unlocked for developers. And I think broadly, if you can make things easier to do, I think you can change the way things are done. And I think we've always been very impressed with that team's dedication to craft and attention to detail, and the way in which I think they've, have an extraordinarily high-minded mission around growing the internet's GDP, but also they're very focused on doing the nitty-gritty, that makes, in their case, receiving online payments and all of the other things that they do very hard. So I'm speaking as a complete outsider. We're two different companies. I've never worked at Stripe. But I've always been extremely admirative of what they've been able to build from the outside. And I think we always sought to emulate the polish, the craft, and seeing the work that they've been doing in crypto, looking at everything they've done, the ways in which they're catalyzing the space. It felt like a very exciting sort of thing that we could bring to our customers. We can do what we do today, and we're going to continue doing what we do today. But on top of that, we can get superpowers that allow us to serve our customers much, much better yet.
It seems like a similar kind of mission. Like it honestly makes sense. And yeah, again, it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm over-indexing, but it feels like one of the biggest announcements to come out of crypto in a long time. Obviously, pending exactly what that looks like, how it works together, so on and so forth. But so I'm curious, maybe independent of Stripe, it's like what's your focus now? Like, what are you guys super focused on? What's sort of like the mission internally at PRIVY right now?
Yeah, I mean, the mission remains, can we make it easier for incredible builders to build unique experiences? And I would argue that really we operate at the two antipodes of the world, which is to say, call it stable coins and meme coins, trading and payments. And I think basically as the technology develops, you've always got different threads that are pulling the space forward and that are teaching us how to build with these rails. And I think our point is to enable the people working on these things. So for example, one of our customers is called Toku. They build a payroll system. They help companies pay people globally with tokens, including stable coins. And so for example, if you're a Nigerian contractor for PRIVY, you can get paid in USDC rather than in Naira, which, obviously USDC has held its value better than Naira over however many years. And we do this without the Nigerian contractor in question needing to know about what crypto is or what wallets are. So very, call it crypto mainstream use case around financial utility and access to dollars globally. And on the other side, working with Hyperliquid, working with Pump, working with Jupiter, these are extraordinarily intensive apps that are really stretching the limits of what a wallet can do, that require extreme security, that require very low latency, that require programmability and policy engines, key quorums. And so I think our focus really is to find incredible customers on both ends, call it payments, trading, and everything in between, games, social, and just focus in on serving those teams as best we can.
Are you seeing like a increase in inbound from like non-crypto native companies looking to use your products?
Hugely, and I think it's very clear that there's real interest. This is a weird thing, but I've been working crypto for call it the last 8 years, and seeing sort of AI come and rise in the way that it has since 2022 and the rise of LLMs was interesting because kind of I think both something that is fundamentally true but also kind of crypto cope was a version of crypto is the only industry that doesn't serve the incumbents. It's kind of the feeling that I saw, whereas AI, if you have a data moat, you can do this. And again, I should say I know nothing about AI, so I would take my words with a huge grain of salt. But I think this is the first time, like stablecoins are the first time in which we're seeing incumbents come and see the value of digital assets. And so we're seeing companies that have had no interest in crypto before come and see the benefits that they can have from having faster, cheaper, instant payments globally. And so I think the sentence I've heard that I really do believe is the first $1 trillion fintech is going to be built on these rails. If you look at Microsoft's market cap today, it's $3.5 trillion, or at least it was when I checked last time. And of the $3.5 trillion, $3 trillion is built outside the U.S.
Damn.
If you look at the biggest financial institutions today, call it Visa or JP Morgan, these are worth $500 billion, and that's because they're landlocked by currency. And so there's very clear applications of global businesses that are doing this. And I think, PRIVY's a little farther down the stack. Like, in order to think about a wallet, to think about a digital asset account, you have to understand crypto a bit more. But we're talking to so many people who aren't fundamentally crypto companies, but benefit hugely from crypto. And that's very exciting to us.
It's honestly good to hear. It feels like, it almost felt a little bit demoralizing for a little bit to watch how quickly AI grew. And then to sort of be stuck in crypto. And you're like, fuck, are we ever going to get this? But it feels like 2025, it's starting to happen. And when we see things like, honestly, the Stripe announcement, like that's why I was so excited about it. It's like it feels like that is sort of happening.
I think it takes a village, and there's going to need to be continuous push. And I think we're, again, like for us, this is an ability to put that much more weight behind our work and to serve our customers that much better. Because in a sense, again, this is just the beginning. We haven't scratched the surface. But I look at that, I think the AI and crypto questions are very complicated. But I look at the work that, say, Coinbase is doing with FX 402. I look at a lot of the work that we're looking at with MCP and stuff that we can do with AI agents and payments for AI agents. And I have never been more optimistic about what we get to build in this space. I just think it requires focus. And whenever I see things move too quickly, I get worried because I think value takes time to build.
That's a banger. And I appreciate you coming on, giving us your time on acquisition day. I guess the last thing I have for you is like, when can we expect like full details?
That is a great question. And the honest thing is my first time doing this. So I have no idea because I've never done it before. And so, I think frankly for us, the road ahead is very clear, which is to keep doing what we're doing and just do more of it. We're hiring a ton and we're pushing very hard. I think in terms of how this actually goes down on quote unquote deal making, to be honest, I'm out of my depth on that one. And so I don't have a great answer for you.
Dude, I really think you guys are fighting the good fight though, on behalf of crypto. And I as like a long time crypto just like participant, I felt like a sense of like satisfaction seeing Zoomer Media make that, or Zoomerfied make that announcement. It was fucking great, dude.
And I think again, like being able to work across the chasm, being able to talk to folks who are like deep in the trenches and actually looking at these new worlds and new economies being created on the one side, and then being able to take those assets on the other. I have a partner, Jamie, who works with us at PRIVY, who talks a lot about kind of the recursive nature of these things, the ways in which stable coins feed trading and trading feeds stable coins. I mean, in fact, USDT started as a holding currency for, I think, Poloniex, or maybe it's not Poloniex. Damn, I'm missing the exchange. But the point
sounds
stands,
right.
I think it might be BitMEX. Anyways, don't quote me. But the point is, I think these two parts of the world go together, and we're kind of uncovering what we can build with this stack. So that's what we're very excited about.
Well, dude, congratulations again to you and the team. It's sick news, and thank you for giving me the time on the other day. I'm sure things are crazy in the background there. What's your watch? I like that. What is that? Show me your watch. What is it?
It is called the Shark Band.
Oh, that's sick.
I've seen a handful of people with it. We have a club now. You should join the club. I think it would work.
Send me a link. That shit is fire. Yeah, send me a link. Bro, you're a Chad. You're actually a Chad. That was sick. Thank you, man.
Thank you, and thanks for taking time before going to the doctor.
Of course, bro. Much love, dude. Congrats.
See ya.
Peace.
Thank you. Bye.
Should I buy a watch, chat? That's sick. They can't say too much about PRIVY, obviously, but I mean, dude, Stripe just bought them. What? It's like the biggest news in a while for crypto. Stripe? Are you insane? Do you understand how big that is? Chat. You understand how big that is? Hey, shout out Memers with the 5 gifted. I love you. Chat, peep this. Stripe yearly volume. Stripe's total payment volume reaches 1.4 trillion, fueled by long-standing investments in AI. Up 38% year on year. They do around 1.3% of global GDP. Like, are you kidding me? He's the founder. It's now used by half of Fortune 100, 80% of Forbes Cloud 100, and 78% of Forbes AI 50. Bro, Stripe does 1.3% of the global GDP. Are you, like, what? What? And they just bought PRIVY. Basically, it's a crypto wallet. But they do 1.3% of global GDP. No, David Bailey's not 87. Do you understand how big that is? Look, shit like this is low key. Like streams like these are low key. They're not the craziest, like bring a 1,000 viewers guests, but or 1,000 viewers guests. Yeah, but David Bailey gave y'all crazy alpha. I have someone mangled in the chat who's locked in. I'm trying to figure out the next IPOs. I'm gonna lock in on this. And Privy just got fucking. I was a CEO of a crypto company just got bought by Stripe. That's insane. I need to go to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital, chat. So I'm gonna go. I think I have COVID. And I'm supposed to go see my family in a couple of days. I'm fucking dying. Memers with a 5. Thank you. Bro, I've been eating food and taking Tylenol non-stop. I'm like, I feel like I'm dying. My throat hurts. I was gonna cancel the stream, but I couldn't cancel on Udi and David Bailey. So I'm gonna go to the doctor now. Can I get some prayers? Can I get some W3 guys? Some like feel better my goat. Can I get some feel better my goat? Couple feel better my goat. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Feel better my goat type shit. Thank you. All right, I'm bugging it. The sad news, the reason I had to stream today is because I leave tomorrow. I'm not going to be back for 10 days. I'm not going to be back in LA for 10 days. Which is sad. It's so sad, I know. 10 days. But I'm coming out of the 10 days with a banger, I promise y'all. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. 700K on GOAT. You already be knowing. Mine is 700K on GOAT. I love y'all motherfuckers. I'll be back in 10 days. Stay easy, stay high. Stay up, I meant, not stay high. Stay up. I love y'all. Peace.